with all the leaders that I've coached for the past 11 years, I could see that there are certain traits that come out with successful leaders. And I think for leaders out there or managers who are listening and people who lead a team, it's good to know that these are the maybe top three things that every successful leader that I've worked with has. So I think number one is vision. So having a clear vision of where they are and where they're going. And being able to also not just see that vision, but to also have some stops along the way and to be able to stop and reflect and see, are we still headed the right way? Are there strategies that we need to change? Are there action steps that we need to change? And just really seeing things for what they are. So sometimes it's hard to do that because if you're a successful leader and you just want
Mhm.
to go, 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 you don't want to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that balance of going, but also looking at where you're headed. So with vision, also, what's very important is not just how you see where the organization or where your group is heading, but it's also making sure that the people around you or the team that is under you is able to understand that vision. Because I find
Mhm.
that a lot of times that it's only your vision alone. For leaders who are kind of like having a hard time understanding why doesn't my team get it or why aren't they with me, because
Mm.
there hasn't been a real conversation with the team or individuals in the team about the vision of where they're headed. And in the discussion of vision, it's important to be able to just say, this is how I see where the team is going, and I want to know what you think of it. So asking the team, what do you think are your challenges? How does that apply to you? How does that affect you? So sometimes in the conversation visioning, you can just focus on the good things. But I think it's also good to just highlight what can get in the way or what are the questions in
Mm.
your mind as a team or what are the challenges that you have. So it's good to be able to face that. Yeah. So a leader with a clear vision, a clear and compelling vision is important. And when it's compelling, that means you're able to not just do that vision for yourself, but you're able to get the buy-in of your team. So especially now, team buy-in is important. And I want to add that with vision, it's not it shouldn't be like a self-serving kind of vision. It should be vision with impact.
Yeah.
So if you know where you're going, thinking about how does this affect the people around me? How does this affect my clients or our clients? How does this affect the organization? So always zooming out and seeing it in the bigger picture of things. I'm trying to see the impact. So I think impact is important. So purpose and impact is very important in creating the vision. And with that put
Mhm.
together, you have a very strong purpose. And I want to say right now in this pandemic, what's keeping a lot of people together also. Of course, there's our bad days, but what's an anchor is really understanding what your purpose is. Because your purpose is who you are, your why. So
Yeah.
I always say to the leaders that I coach that organizations are also living and breathing beings because it's like a human in itself because it's composed of people. And so you have to be able to find out what is the why of the organization and how does it speak to the people who work for the organization. So it's also understanding everyone's why in connection to that bigger why.
Mm. Mm.
So that's vision. The second one is being able to have compassion and emotional intelligence. So you've been hearing emotional intelligence for a while now, but right now it's really at the forefront, making
Yeah.
sure that people in the organization, especially leaders, are able to just give people space to grow, making sure that they're meeting people where they're at because like I said, a lot of times when you're just focused on this is on my own direction or I think this is where these people should go without really asking them, then that's really not for everyone's personal growth. So you always have to think of like let's say a succession plan, or you always have to think of career development also because in a survey run by in a popular survey run by Gallup, that's one of the actually questions that comes out. So people stay if they feel like it shows that they're growing in the organization. So you have to be able to think of that as a leader. So there's compassion, and part of compassion also and care is to be able to see the emotions of people. There's a lot of emotions going on right now. Especially as a leader, you have to be able to not just check in, but genuinely care about them. Not just check in
Yeah.
because you have to check in or you watch a webinar and checking in. It's I think it starts with intention. Intention that I
Yes.
really want to take care of my people. I really care for them. And when we have that intention, people will be able to see that through. So,
Mm.
because if you don't have the right intention in the first place, people will not be able to see that, and you won't be able to get their trust, or they may not connect with you as much. So so going back to that, it's important to be able to care about people that way. So it's going beyond the goals. It's all about understanding where people are operating from. I think that's the
Love
key.
it. I love
Yeah,
it.
and
I love it.
it's connected to before people used to think, oh, that's so soft. If you think about the behaviors, the whys, where people are operating for, but guess what? That is the secret to performance. Because if you just focus on the goals, the strategies, the action steps, that's nothing. If you don't look at how people are, where people are coming from, and where are they operating from. So you have to be able to remember that try to find out as you talk to people, where are they operating from, what will motivate them, what will encourage them, what's their environment, and everyone has a different answer to that. Everyone
Yes.
does.
Yes.
So trying to find that out as a leader. The third one that makes a leader successful is when you hear the word agile a lot, and I want to mention that because growth and agility and resilience, putting that all together, it's all tied up because you need to be able to be that strong leader also, that like the captain of the ship when it's a stormy sea. You have to be able to take control of the ship even if there are challenges facing you. It's being able to take it and take it head on, and still being able to know where what you need to do and where you're headed. So
Mm.
the ability to be able to step back, look at things objectively, and not being impulsive. So being more of a reflective leader than a reactive leader. Last year when the pandemic hit, I've had a lot of leaders who were very reactive to the situation because
Yeah.
maybe they were panicking and all that, but that's not good because when you're reactive and you're being reactive because it's a sudden surge of emotions and you just want to do it without really having time to process it. When it's that, it's a
Yes.
reactive reaction.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you
Yep.
want to be able to just pause. Yeah, so and to be able to do that, you become more aware, you have better decisions. But an agile leader also is someone who is able to see adversities as areas for growth,
Mm.
areas where they can challenge themselves. They're not afraid to go be out of their comfort zone to be able to learn. So yeah, taking everything as a learning experience. But I also want to say that even if you're that kind of a leader, it's also important as a leader to show the human side of you. So especially in this pandemic, it's okay to just show people that um you're not feeling okay. I mean, not
Yeah.
like you're also overwhelmed or you're stressed also. So it shows that side of you also as human. And it's an area where people can connect to you more. So I think
Mm.
in this whole pandemic also, the most important thing is that connection. So if you want people to connect to you, you want to be an anchor. Yes, it's good to be strong, but there are also times that you have to show when you're not feeling okay, or you're having
Yeah.
a difficult time, or it's something that you're struggling with, and so that makes you more real.
The JPaul Hernandez Podcast. Listen to the full episode on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and all major podcast platforms.